Hey everybody and welcome. So I want to show you guys something that I found out with the BKLES water filter here that I have. So as you can see, I kind of destroyed it in a sense because I found out that it started leaking water inside the housing right here. So I decided to, since it was pretty much destroyed, decided to give you guys an inside scoop on what the frick is up with this company's filter, and probably would advise to avoid it because it seems it is poorly designed beyond words. So there's nothing in this, it's all just air gap right here, and I don't know, the light is probably showing, I can't really see, but here's what I mean by how crappy it is. Here's the motor. It's moving. And then the battery also can move independently. Oh, actually just came out. Okay. So this makes me guess is that the power piece that converts the water from the inlet hose right here basically is attached to the motor as a plastic housing, and when that plastic housing gets moved around, it probably destroys the tunneling system that's built in to the filtration, so it doesn't have its own independent hose. Either that, or it has very little pressure intolerance, because I was just making a test of using another motor to power over with this at the same time, and it started leaking over the top of this. No water got into the the controller system, which is actually over this, but it seemed to cause back pressure, and it filled up this entire cavity right here. So this was wet, this is damaged. The motor is wet, so that's damaged. Although it's a brush motor, so theoretically it's not damaged because it's a brush motor. Brush motors can still work in water, but they will kind of have their brush particles residue in here. So this would theoretically still work, but this would pretty much be completely fricked over time. And since it pushed the water all the way up in from this cavity into this controller that's just above this, it pretty much started making the light flicker and screwing up the controller. And these two wires are just connected to the controller housing. Another thing I wanted to know is, this is the internal bottom filter with the supposed carbon and KDF filter, and this is the KDF filter or carbon filter piece. Okay, it's very dense, so that's not a problem, but look at the small amount of KDF particles for the filter. It's very small, like literally it's like somebody just basically sprinkled salt in there and then that's it. It's not an entire cavity like it shows, like it's like this big or this thick. It's just basically somebody sprinkled some salt in there and that's it. So this stuff basically literally does bullcrap. And now my entire desk is going to be screwed up. but you can tell it is carbon because it's basically a sponge in a sense. But yeah, it's just rather stupid. And this is the supposed cotton filter that's just wrapped around the sponge carbon and the KDF degradation piece, which is literally just crap. So I can show you guys. That's how much KDF there is. There's literally nothing. As for the internal ultra fiber membrane, it's ultra fiber membrane. There's nothing too special about that. This is the pre-filter, but both of these filters, pretty much from all companies, will have this kind of mesh around it to keep it protected. So they're not technically exposed, but still water can leak in very well. So I only really got to test this about twice before it basically started breaking on me. So it's pretty much screwed. So yeah, this entire, like, I don't know why it's a soda can design, but everything about this is just hollow. There's no protection, nothing. I would think that maybe if you're gonna put, you know, some kind of ability in here, spray foam it and then keep it sealed, so it, like, keeps the motor and the battery housing from moving around. But this is just terrible. And that's probably why some people will complain that once they dropped this, that it started just basically freaking out, because there's literally no protection whatsoever. This is a nice good plastic hard shell piece, but the problem is, it's like your brain. Basically, if you have protection here from your skull, but if there's no, like, absorbent ability to prevent things from moving so much, then this is just going to be like, it's basically like, in a sense, a person with no seatbelt and they get in a crash. Gravity is just going to force them out that window because there's no ability to capture and basically absorb the crash ability. So there's no absorption for that. I thought that because this entire tube area right here, as you can see for the internal filter area, there is literally no way for it to leak out, right? But I guess the leakage point is basically right here. So if that entire hollow piece gets bumped around, it basically destroys the routing piece into the inlet for the dirty water, and then just basically starts leaking into the internal hollow shell of the actual battery area, and that destroys everything. So pretty bad design, because basically this is not held down correctly. It's not because that the routing is a problem or that this is a problem. It's just because this piece right here is not protected whatsoever. So if you're wanting to buy this, I would avoid the BKLES and the GreeShow water filters, because you're probably only going to get once or twice, unless you basically put this on a little pillow and go like this. Oh yeah, you're a beautiful boy. Yeah, you'll get a nice good comfy seating ability. But for anybody that's wanting to also think about replacing this, there's literally no screws. I've looked at the bottom, I tried to twist the bottom, I tried to twist the top. There's no screws whatsoever on this thing. It's just glued, sealed down. So it's not fixable. So don't waste your 60 bucks or 40 bucks on this crap. And I'm not just saying that from being a butthole like some other people will do, where they'll like just randomly shout off. You know experience, and I know experience now. And this thing is just hollow as crap, and it has no ability to absorb any kind of fall damage whatsoever. So there you guys go. Because if you're gonna trust this filtration ability, the filtration of the hollow fiber membrane ability and the carbon filter ability is fine. But cotton filter is bullcrap. The KDF degradation filtration is complete and utter much of a joke. And there's no steel mesh system or anything. So basically the only thing you really get is carbon filtration and hollow fiber with somewhat of a just cloth filtration. But I mean, this is gonna go bad pretty fast. Anyways, see you guys later. Peace out.